Roosevelt Island, a narrow strip of land in New York City's East River, quietly nestled between Manhattan and Queens. Though often overlooked by tourists and even New Yorkers themselves, this island holds a surprisingly rich and fascinating history. One of the most iconic and scenic ways to reach Roosevelt Island is by taking the Roosevelt Island Tramway, a cable car that glides high above the East River, offering spectacular views of the Manhattan skyline. The tram departs from 59th Street and 2nd Avenue in Manhattan and travels directly to the island in just under 4 minutes. It runs every 7 to 15 minutes and operates as part of the MTA system, so you can use a Metro card to pay the standard subway fare. Roosevelt Island, originally known as Blackwell's Island, once was a place of isolation, home to some of the city's earliest hospitals, a penitentiary, and even an asylum. In the 19th century, New York City used this island to separate the sick, the poor, and the mentally ill from the rest of the population, hoping to provide care, but often under harsh conditions. In the 20th century, the island was renamed Welfare Island, reflecting its continued role in public health. In 1973, the island was renamed to Roosevelt Island to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his inspiring four freedoms: freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. The island features a combination of high-rise apartments, co-ops, affordable housing, and luxury rentals, many of which offer stunning views of the East River and Manhattan skyline. Notable developments include the Riverwalk Complex, a group of sleek, modern buildings, offering upscale amenities and waterfront living. There's also the Octagon, a striking residential building that was once part of the island's 19th century asylum, now beautifully restored and eco-friendly. The island's residential layout is pedestrian-friendly, with green spaces, playgrounds, and quiet streets. As we walked along Main Street, we came across the Chapel of the Good Shepherd, a charming 19th century Gothic-style church built in the late 1800s. Once serving the island's institutional population, it now functions as a peaceful community center and event space, still retaining its historic character. If you've ever walked along the western shoreline of Roosevelt Island near Octagon Park, you may have noticed a series of whimsical bronze sculptures emerging from the East River. These are part of Tom Otterness's 1996 installation titled The Marriage of Real Estate and Money. This public art piece features playful yet satirical figures, including a coin being attacked by a money bag and a house adorned with a skirt, symbolizing the complex relationship between wealth and property development in New York City. Here we approach the sanctuary, a beautifully restored 1920 stone church near the northern end of Roosevelt Island, now a unique event space. It features original stained glass windows, high ceilings, and scenic waterfront views, blending historic charm with modern elegance. At the northern tip of Roosevelt Island, you'll find two powerful landmarks: the historic lighthouse and the Girl Puzzle Monument. The Girl Puzzle honors journalist Nellie Bly, who exposed abuse at the island's asylum in 1887. The monument features 5 bronze faces representing Bly and marginalized women, celebrating strength, resilience, and the fight for justice. The Roosevelt Island Lighthouse, built in 1872 by architect James Renwick Jr., once guided ships through the tricky currents of the East River's Hell Gate. Roosevelt Island transforms into a blooming oasis each spring, offering some of the most picturesque floral scenes in New York City. The eastern side of Roosevelt Island offers a quieter, more residential feel compared to the busier west side. Running along the East River, it features peaceful walking paths, green spaces, and scenic views of Queens and the iconic Roosevelt Island Bridge. The area is lined with residential buildings, small parks, and spots for picnicking or simply relaxing by the water. As we approach the southern end of Roosevelt Island, we'll encounter Cornell Tech, a cutting-edge graduate campus that has transformed the area into a hub of innovation and sustainability. At the center of Cornell Tech stands the Bloomberg Center, a 4-story, eco-friendly building designed by Morphosis Architects. With its striking aluminum facade, it reflects the campus's focus on sustainability, technology, and innovation. Southpoint Park, located on the southern end of Roosevelt Island, offers a tranquil green space with sweeping views of Manhattan, Queens, and the East River. Not far from the Southpoint Park, you'll find the haunting remains of the Smallpox Hospital. Built in 1856 and designed by James Renwick Jr., it was the first hospital in the U.S. dedicated to treating smallpox. Now it's a protected New York City landmark. Just north of the Smallpox Hospital ruins lies a unique and heartwarming feature of Roosevelt Island, a cat sanctuary. This sanctuary, operated by the Wildlife Freedom Foundation, provides a safe haven for a colony of feral cats that have made the island their home. At the southern tip of Roosevelt Island lies Four Freedoms Park, a peaceful memorial dedicated to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by architect Louis Kahn, the park honors FDR's famous speech about the 4 essential freedoms: speech, worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. With its tree-lined walkways and clear views of the East River and Manhattan skyline, it's a calm and peaceful spot for rest. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next walk.